The whole of Dante's Divine Comedy is worth reading for its astoundingly beautiful, even lyric qualities that Dante infuses into his poetry. But my favorite section, and most people's favorite, is the Inferno, because we may have the most to gain by reading it. Dante composed the work to serve as a warning to its readers, so that they would turn from the sins that condemn the shades languishing in hell, whom Dante interviews over the course of their journey. It is Dante's hope that his readers return to God, repent of their sins, and trust in Jesus Christ. Dante begins his poem on Good Friday, the Friday of Passover, the date upon which the crucifixion of Jesus is celebrated in Western Christendom. Dante will emerge out of the Inferno on Easter Sunday, so that the time Dante spends in the Inferno is in a manner analogous to the 3 days Jesus Christ spent in the grave following the crucifixion. Now Dante the pilgrim needs a guide to shepherd him through the Inferno, someone who could help explain to Dante the significance of the things Dante sees, and Dante the poet chooses Virgil, the preeminent Roman poet of the 1st century BC and the author of Dante's favorite poem, the Aeneid. This shows Dante's interest in Roman classics, but it also demonstrates the limits of human reason, that capability we have to work out problems of immense importance. Virgil is a noble pagan, but having lived before the revelation of Jesus Christ, he is cut off from heaven. Subsequently, Virgil not only symbolizes the potential of human reason, since reason can discover many true things about the world, but also that human reason cannot save us. Only Jesus Christ can do that. Dante subordinates reason below the revealed truth of God in the same manner Thomas Aquinas does in the Summa. Now, the structure of the Inferno is an inverted funnel, a funnel made by the arch-fiend Lucifer when he was expelled from heaven and fell to earth. Hell in Dante's Inferno consists of 9 circles, in which the host of the damned are punished in a manner analogous to and most appropriate for their sin. Each circle is devoted to a particular sin, mostly corresponding to the medieval notion of the 7 deadly sins of lust, avarice or greed, sloth, wrath, gluttony, envy, and pride. The punishments for particular kinds of sins are meant to illustrate the nature of the sin itself, or the consequences of that sin. Now the word in Italian is contrappasso, which means to suffer the opposite, or to suffer in a way that not only fits the crime, but is the crime. Now how does this play itself out in Dante's Inferno? Let's consider Canto 6 and the 3rd circle in hell, which contains the gluttons. The gluttons are forced to eat cold, disgusting sludge for all eternity. How does this punishment fit the crime? Well, God gave you taste buds and food to eat, and as a result, eating and enjoying food is not sinful in and of itself. But many people turn to food and other physical comforts to comfort them in their grief instead of turning to God. And that's why the gluttons are condemned to eat cold, disgusting sludge for all eternity as a result of the sad, melancholic way they overindulged in physical pleasures so as to ameliorate their spiritual condition. But perhaps the most interesting warning Dante provides for his reader comes in Canto 26, when Dante speaks with the famed Greek hero Odysseus, Latin name Ulysses. We are in the 8th circle of hell, the Malbolge, Italian for evil ditches. We're in the 8th of these evil ditches that contains the false counselors. Here, the false counselors are imprisoned in tongues of flame, similar to the way that their speech literally burned people in life. In Canto 26, Ulysses recounts to Dante the story of his own death. Having reclaimed his kingdom and returned home to his wife Penelope and son Telemachus, Ulysses grows bored and restless as the king of Ithaca. He misses sailing on the wine-dark sea and exploring new islands and whatever else might lie just beyond the horizon. So he gathers a crew and readies a ship and sails off from Ithaca for one more adventure. They sail west to the Pillars of Hercules, the mountains at the far western end of the Mediterranean Sea that served as the uttermost boundaries for the Greeks. Beyond those gates, no Greeks would sail, or else they risked sailing off the edge of the world, or being eaten by sea monsters, or swallowed up in vast unknown seas for which no maps exist. Ulysses convinces his crew to push beyond the Pillars of Hercules and leave the safety of the Mediterranean world, reminding them that they were not made to live like brutes, but to follow virtue and knowledge, and effectively to push beyond the bounds that would dare restrain mankind. They sailed deeper and deeper into oceans unknown to them until they reach a mountain towering above the surface of the sea. And when Ulysses dares to sail too close to its shores, a tempest rose up and struck Ulysses and assailed his ship until finally the sea closed up over them. And Ulysses and his men perished amidst a wild and raging sea. In the world of Dante, that mountain was purgatory, and no human being, by his own strength or by the powers of his own reason, may reach Mount Purgatory. That can only be done through faith in Jesus Christ.